Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Bloom. So this morning I am going to be going around and replacing some plants that didn't make it. Most of these plants were plants that I planted last year, except for one, I think, and that's just gardening. That happens, sometimes there's some things that you can do to prevent it and other things they just don't make it. So actually the two things that I planted last year that didn't make it were along this stretch here, and one was a delphinium that planted last year, and it came up and it was thriving, and a chicken came and scratched it. I don't know what it is about little baby delphiniums and chickens, but my chickens have scratched 3 delphiniums just right off at the base. So we've gotten that under control. They are now left in their coops with like a run where they can still go out and get some grass. And then the other thing I planted last year, I actually planted 4 of them in like a little drift. 3 came back, and then 2 of the 3 that came back just fizzled out, and that was the powwow echinacea. So I'll show you that. And then one salvia that I planted earlier this year. It it was like blooming. I cut it back to do a second flush, and then it just fizzled out, and it's just gone now. So maybe I didn't give it enough water. I don't know, but I water everything by hand every single day, and I monitor everything. Don't know what happened, but that's just life. So let me show you. Okay, excuse the weeds here. I obviously have some maintenance that is lacking, so hopefully I can get to that later, but I just really want to get some stuff planted. But I want to look at this. Oh, and there's even a bee. I love this plant. It is a turtle head plant. Starts blooming, now. End of August, early September. Look at that bee in there. Anyways, that's not what I'm going to show you. Behind it, there's more weeds and some cardboard because I planted these hydrangea standards. Ignore all my containers. That's just my dump spot. Whenever I plant something, I just dump it in that empty raised bed, and I promise I will get around to cleaning out all those containers. And then the tote is for our rototiller. When it rains, we cover the rototiller with the tote, but it's in the shop getting maintenance fixed up. So that's why that's been there. It's been in the shop for like a month, and it's still, they had to order special parts. And anyways, but that tote normally covers the rototiller. So right here is where the delphinium was. I have a double martini sedum. Oh, I never explained about the cardboard. So I'm continuing the mulch and cardboard to go past the hydrangea standard. So all of this will be mulch and cardboard, or cardboard and mulch. So that's why you still see that. I need to finish it. But there's a double martini sedum. The one thing I don't like about it is every fall this happens. It gets like those brown spots, and I don't know what that is. I noticed it last year too in the container before I planted it. Oh man, that grass is in there. I love the dark color, and then it gets that, and then I don't love it, but we'll see. We will see. So that. And then I have a bobo hydrangea. On the other side, these get 2 to 4 feet tall and wide. I'm not sure, being in northern Minnesota, how big this will actually get, but I think my plan is right in the middle of the two is to plant a peony. I really noticed that about this little soup that I have along the driveway is I have a lot of stuff in here that's good for late summer, early fall. So like Heliopsis, yeah, I can't remember. I have asters, the turtle head, daylilies that start blooming in the summer, echinacea, summer, and it's missing a lot of like spring, early summer things. So I was thinking if I put a peony in there, I think that will add just some more spring interest. And then I also did transplant 2 Asiatic lilies earlier this year. So I will now have the lilies and the peony, and I'd like to slowly start, you know, I do have some salvia. I don't know what happened. It barely bloomed. This is Back to the Fuchsia Salvia, Proven Winners. Barely bloomed, and then I cut it back to hopefully get a second flush, and it sat there all day long. So I do know the soil along here isn't the best, and I did not get them fertilized this spring. I ended up having foot surgery, and then I was out for the count for like a month from the garden, and then I never got it done. So that probably is a good indicator for why they didn't perform super well. And being right next to the driveway, the soil was a lot of gravel. So I think it's going to take some years of fertilizing and amending before things really start to perform. So then down here I have some Autumn Joy Sedum, and I have 2 left. Okay, I have 2. I'm not sure what happened here. This just completely looked like someone stepped on it. I have these coneflower echinaceas, and then I had 1, 2, and then the 4th one. There it is. So, that question, I'm debating, do I put 2 more echinacea to continue the drift, or do I add some more spring plants here? Like maybe another peony. I have a lot of peonies. And then also something there. Oh, maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll put a peony there to fill in between the 2 bobos, because something else died. What was it? Lobelia? Is that what that was? I planted like 6 lobelia and none of them came up. Even though I think they're hardy to zone 3, maybe 4, I don't know. But none of them came up. So maybe I'll do a peony there to kind of match the peony down there. And then maybe I will just do the 2 echinacea to just continue the drift. I'm not the best at planting drifts, but I'm trying to get better because I love how they look. And I know a straight line isn't technically a drift, but I kind of like clumps, especially with how long the driveway is. I want clumps of things to make a bigger impact. And then right here, next to my storm cloud daylily, I planted a salvia, a blue marble salvia, and it's just died. I don't know. I planted one over here, and this one's looking really good, pushing back its second set of blooms. So luckily I do have another one that I will replace this one with. Ignore my chairs for my kids. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to gather up the plants and get to planting. I still have, oh, you know what? Maybe Veronica would be pretty between those 2 echinacea. What do you think? But I have all this little pack of echinacea that just need to get out of this container. So maybe I'll just stick to the original plant. This is everything I still need to plant. And it is way sooner than 6 weeks before next frost. Oh, look at that peony. I don't know why it's turning red so quickly, but I love it. I was thinking of doing this one. The name was crossed out. Can you see that? They took white out and crossed out the name. But I just love how that one looks. So I think I'll take that one. I hope the turning red so quickly isn't a bad sign that it's dying. It is planted very high. I am going to plant it a little bit deeper, but make sure that the eye, or where like the stems are coming out of, is not planted any deeper than 2 inches. But I just feel like that will die in zone 3 northern Minnesota if I don't plant the rhizome a little bit deeper. All right, excuse the tall grass over here. That's why I have my mucks on. I want this peony as well. Dr. Alexander Fleming. And there's this tall weed growing out of it. So I just need to chop that off. And this one's getting really pretty fall color too. And I need a blue marble salvia. All right, there's my plants, including the weed. I don't know why I let it get that far. I don't know what it is either, but it looks like it's gonna flower and go to seed soon. So we'll get rid of that. So I'm gonna set you guys up and get to planting. Okay, you guys, I am done. Let me show you. Okay, I'm gonna start right here just because that's where I am instead of walking all the way over to the other spot and then all the way back. Planted the salvia. I love it. Now, eventually, I may have to move these two because this storm cloud, Artemisia, I think is how you say it, can get fairly big. 38 to 42 inches wide. So this may or may not take over this whole corner. Growing in northern Minnesota, I never know exactly how big things will get just because we have such a short growing zone, crazy cold winters. Sometimes things don't reach their max size, but I just like having this other stuff here. I love this. This is a dianthus, let me move this grass, Proven Winners dianthus here. Now, Proven Winner, the dianthus, look, normally I don't like dianthus. They look great while they bloom for like a week or two, and then they just look horrible. But these by Proven Winners, can't remember the variety, they have this silvery, icy blue grass-like leaves. So after the blooms are done, I just cut it back, and I love it for its foliage. Just for the foliage. I think it adds such a fun texture here. And I obviously don't know how to space things properly. Probably have to move that one next year, but for now, I am just enjoying things in the moment. So eventually this may take over the whole corner where I may need to move almost everything, but for now, I'm enjoying it the way it is. Okay, here is the Alexander Fleming peony. I kind of tried to pull this weed out here, and I'm worried about damaging the roots of the peony, so I'm just going to take some snippers, snip it off at the base, and then, so there's the peony. I love it. Gosh, I just love this one. Here's the other turtle head. It's almost like a little bit more blooms. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I want more of these throughout the garden. I love it. And then walking down the lane, there's the other peony, which I didn't realize how crooked I was planting it. But it's fine, you know, because these die back to the ground, and then I'll push new growth, and the new growth will grow straight. But look at that fall color. I had no idea peonies had such fall color. It's gorgeous. And then I planted the two echinacea. I know I said they were like powwow, but I think, if I remember correctly, it's the Prima Donna Deep Rose, which is what was here before. And I vaguely remember that's what I bought in the 6-pack. And the last two little groups I'm just going to plant in my cut flower garden. And I'll have those in my cut flower garden. So I'm actually going to, I think, tuck this in there just so I can kind of remember. And yeah, that's everything I planted. Okay, you guys, that is it for this video. I'm happy to have those holes filled. I still have lots more to plant, and it is, what is it, September 9th today. Now for northern Minnesota, zone 3, our estimated first frost is around like September 20th. Really, it can happen anytime after the 15th, but we've been having exceptionally warm weather for September, so I'm hoping we can push off our frost until October. That would be so nice. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.